Hey guys, alright, so I started off with a sheet of EVA foam, measured my shoulder for the shoulder pads, and then measured it on the foam, cut it out with an X-Acto knife, and I did that 4 times. I then took my heat gun and heated it up so that I can curve it into a round shape. I then took this leftover fabric that I got this from Joann's, and used it on a previous cosplay, and I had leftovers, so I folded it and taped down so that it would stay in place while I sewed it, and I put it in my sewing machine. I then took a hot glue gun and glued it to the foam. I did the exact same thing for all 4 sides and all 4 pieces. I then took a solder wire and taped it to a copper pipe and put that pipe into a drill and tried to make it coil around tightly. I then slid it off and started to separate it and push it together. And then I just measured it to the shoulder pad and cut it and then glued it in place. I continued to place row after row, making sure to put a little dab of glue in between them so that they would stick together. And then I did it for all 4 of the other pieces. Now I'm making the belts and taking that same fabric and just wrapping it around a piece of cardboard and then sewing the sides. Then for the smaller belts, I just glued it on instead of sewing it to the cardboard. And I bought these little studs from Joann's, and I just stuck them on to make it look like little buttons. I then wrapped it around this ring, all 3 pieces, and I was done with the belts. Now I'm adding elastic to the shoulder pads, so I cut out the fabric because the glue would stick a lot better to the foam instead of the fabric. So I did that to 2 of the pieces, and it held onto my arm very well. For the other pieces, I took Velcro and then placed it on the corners, and then I was able to stick it to the other piece that had the elastic on. So the character has a darker leather, so I just started to darken it up with some of my paints, and I watered it down, put it on with a brush, and then smoothed it over with a sponge, and it came out pretty well. Now I'm starting to make the emblem out of air dry clay, so I just rolled it up and started with my clay tools. Now my camera ran out of battery, and so I didn't get to tape the whole sculpting, unfortunately, but stay tuned because my next video will be a lot more clay sculpting in that video. That will be coming out on Saturday. And subscribe to see all I create. Now I'm just painting. After it has dried completely, I'm painting it with gray and shading it with black. So I put the color down and then add some water, and it smooths it out like it's a real shading. I then colored the eyes red, and when I was done with that, I took a metallic silver spray paint and put it into a little cup and then paint it over. what I had done already, and it made it look metallic, like metal. It was awesome. Alright, then I took some hot glue and glued it to a chain that I had bought from Joann's. Now I'm starting with the makeup. I started with a very light foundation, and now I'm starting with the line work, and I'm using a dark concealer to do all the lines. He has a big scar coming down one eye and some wrinkles on the side of his eyes, and he also has lines coming down the nasolabial folds and a fairly pointy nose. So I went ahead and did that, and now I'm going to blend it all in. I added a little bit of a darker foundation on the cheeks, and I started with outlining in black. First I put the color down and then I blend it in. For his beard, I took a stipple sponge, put it in black, and then formed a beard on my face, and then I took white and did the exact same thing on top. And now I'm going to do the white for the hair. I took a highlight color and made sure I went right next to the scar and all the high points of the face. Now I'm adding a little bit of a red shadow inside the scar and sharpening it up with black, and then adding white right at the edge. I'm also going to take a black shadow and just shade right next to that white line. Now I'm finishing up my hair, and then I will put on my armor and the look will be complete. I also made sure to add a little bit of a black shadow right before the white hairline starts. Alright guys, so this is my final look. This is Geralt from The Witcher 3. I'm super excited because this was originally a book and then it became a game and now it's becoming a series, so I'm so excited for that. And I hope you enjoyed the making of this cosplay because it was a lot of fun. This is my second character in my video game series, so stay tuned. We got 2 more videos coming up in this series, so stay tuned. So I hope you enjoyed it. So please subscribe, like this video, comment down below what you'd like to see next, and thank you. Bye!